Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy IV with me, jrpg. And in the last episode, we just completed the Land of Summoned Monsters optional dungeon, which netted us a couple of sweet summons for Rydia. And by a couple, I mean probably just the one, which is Leviathan. And interestingly, both Leviathan and Edge's sort of flood command, there's not a water elemental in this game, so they're both non-elemental damage, so they kind of just work, which is just fantastic. But where we are right now is right outside the Cave of Sylph, which is the other optional dungeon here in the underground, and let's get to it. Now, just like the Land of Summoned Monsters, we're going to want to have float up for this whole thing, because there are poison ground tiles. Oh, these are mobiles. They are kind of the worst. They inflict every status element in the game all at once. And we're just going to kind of tighten our way out of this, I think. But if you can quickly kill one, then they're much, much less of a threat. I gotta switch some equipment around. Oof. Well, that unconfused her, so that's nice. But here comes Titan to save the day, and we're all done with these. And I do believe their full name should be Marlboro. As a sort of little Final Fantasy anti-smoking tidbit. Let's just go ahead and use a heal. That'll fix that up real nice. And let's get the proper equipment on. I was flapping my lips and I forgot to do this. We want to get the ice armor back on because we're going to have to deal with a little bit of fire magic in here. And I think I just want Kain wearing the Blizzard Spear. It's a little bit weaker, but it's going to do better damage down here. And let's get Rosa topped back up and let's get a move on. And we've still got Rydia leading the party because, as I mentioned before, I feel like this is a sort of Rydia section, so she's going to be leading the group for now. And I really, really like this dungeon. As you'll see as we go, it's much more confusing, I would say, more winding, and it feels a lot more like a Final Fantasy I or the original Final Fantasy type dungeon. But we're going to take this top pathway first. Let's get float back up. And as you'll see with some of these secret passages, this would have been very, very difficult. Alright, so here are the ghosts. These are the guys that cast fire that I was a little bit, maybe not worried about, but concerned about my equipment loadout. I definitely want to be resisting fire down here. Because if you're weak to fire, those fire 2 attacks can do hundreds of points of damage. But fortunately, we have the benefit of having leveled up from the Land of Summoned Monsters, so this place won't be too tough. If you come straight here, though, these monsters can definitely be at least moderately difficult. Boom! There's a proper amount of jump damage instead of just missing. I think maybe I've kind of had my fun with the Drain Lance and I should just knock it off. Let's go ahead and use a heal item. But what I was going to say is that you'll see as we go here, if we didn't have the benefit, we already talked about the charm staff, so we don't need to worry about that, but we have the benefit of being able to see these hidden passages. You can see how difficult this dungeon would have been to navigate if they were invisible the way they are in the Japanese version. And now we can get those treasure boxes we saw right off the bat. So this is a Crazy Toad Lady and her Crazy Toads. These battles are really just absolutely insanely time-consuming, but not dangerous at all. They never damage you. All they do is cast Toad over and over. And honestly, I kind of feel sorry for the Toad Lady. where all she does is hang out in the underground with her frog friends, just casting Toad on people. But she never attacks you. She just really likes hearing her frogs croak. And that's it. That's all that happens. And I'm just going to let my little froggies take punches. Oh, that didn't drop her? That's a little annoying. And there is a formation where you can roll 6 toads with the Toad Lady. And believe me, that just takes forever, and the experience isn't even really worth it, as you'll see. But I do want to show one of these. You can also just wait and hope that you get lucky and they cast Toad on the already toaded party member, and then that will untoad them. Alright, Virus did its job there. And now, fortunately, Toad is much, much cheaper than Heal. It's only 7 MP. So we can just use that to fix the Toad status. Cure 2 Heal and about 5,000 Gil. We haven't seen a Dark Tree yet, either. They just hit really hard. But we're going to take out the Marlboro as fast as we can. Yeah, let's just do a Cure 3 and make sure Edge stays out of trouble. There we go. And now Titan is kind of overkill here, but I just kind of want to get through these fights quickly. A lot of the fights in the Sylph Cave are just time-consuming and nothing else. That could have been a dangerous attack there. Go Titan. So ripped. Titan is so ripped. But those battles are worth it. 4,000 XP is still kind of a lot at this point in the game. And this right here, the little hole in the floor, we're going to drop through that. Oof, we got a little mugged there. I do like that the spell that literally brings you back to life costs 8 MP, and the one to cure, like, if you're a pig, costs 20. That's just really funny to me. But what I was going to say is that we're going to drop through this hole over here, and this kind of stuff is what really reminds me of, like, for example, the Ice Cave in the original Final Fantasy. And that makes me really, really like this dungeon a lot. Also, the just sort of winding nature, secret passages. It feels like an optional, almost a challenge dungeon, although it's not, I would argue, insanely challenging. But over here to our left, we're seeing kind of a structure. And I remember my mind absolutely being blown by this as a kid. Like, what? There's a house in the bottom of the dungeon? When does that ever happen? But for now, we're going to step on this teleporter, which is going to land us here in a room full of these poison tiles, so let's get Float back up. And let's make sure we're a little bit ethered up, because what's going to happen here... that should be good. Is all 6 of these treasure boxes are going to be trapped, so let's get to it. And so this, like, 6 ghosts is not super dangerous, but if you're wearing the wrong equipment, they're going to do, like, 6 fire 2s in a row. And that can really chew you up if you're not ready to go for it. Fortunately for us, we pretty much resist this across the board. Rydia and Rosa both have great magic defense, and... you know what, we haven't seen a Leviathan yet, so let's just do it. Small wave. I hope some of them live for this. There we go. Let's see the big wave. Oh yeah, the master of the seas. And look at this damage. Fantastic. And for our trouble, we get one measly elixir that I will do my best to try to use. Yeah, they barely even touched us. All right, let's move on to the next one. This one's a little bit tougher. We're gonna try to take out these mobiles as fast as we can. Yeah, those trees just punch you right in the face. That's not good. But it wasn't on Rydia, so maybe we can just Leviathan our way out of this. I don't think exit's gonna work. I don't believe you can run away from this fight. Alright, this should do it. Oh man, he is just a delete button for enemies. It's fantastic. 6,000 XP for our trouble, and we get a full moon, which is a really cool weapon for Edge. And this is one of his boomerangs, you can kind of tell by the icon. And it has the benefit of being long range, which allows you to have Edge in the back row if you end up having 2 boomerangs, which you kind of want to do because he can't use a shield, so that means his defense is pretty low for almost the entire game. But I like having him in the front row because I think he's cool. But you're actually probably best served having him in the back row. For now, we don't have 2 ranged weapons, but we may end up rectifying that at some point. And we'll get to check out that full moon right now. 6 ghosts again. And we're gonna have to sit through a whole bunch of fire 2s. Wonder how Rydia's doing on MP. I don't really want to Leviathan this, so let's just cast Virus on all of them. Despite the fact that I can just buy ethers in the stores, I would like to try to not do that if at all possible. And I think we can just beat these guys up the old-fashioned way. Although it will take a little bit more time. Although I guess if I cast Virus twice, it's the same as just casting Titan. Maybe I should just be doing that. I'm trying. I love the full moon. I think the sound effect on the boomerangs is just fantastic. It has a very, like, abrupt, surprising sound. It's very satisfying to me. And we get another elixir, up to 10 of those. And I think we're ready to go, like, straight into the next fight, but let me just... Yeah, let's just make sure Cecil's topped up. And let's go. Two mobiles again, and we just have to hope that they're, Yeah, I guess if I've got 40 or 50, we should just Leviathan. Why not? Well, we'll just have to hope that their breath attack is lucky, and that felt pretty good to me. Goodbye, mobiles. Alright, Rydia learns Drain. That spell is pretty much useless, but we get the Avenger's Sword, and this sword is pretty cool. I think we'll go ahead and try it out for a battle, but it is a two-handed sword. And it grants the Berserk status, gives plus 10 strength, agility, and stamina, and minus 10 intelligence and spirit. But it is pretty powerful. I don't know that it's better than the defense. Yeah, the defense is actually much better. That being said, I think I'll try it out for one fight, because why not? All I'm doing is attacking with Cecil anyway, and we may as well take a look at it since it's a unique. Oh, and we need to get Rydia a little bit of MP. I would like to have one more summon on her. So we'll just use like 2 of them. And it's 6 ghosts again. Yeah, let's just tighten it. It's weird to me. Oh man, that's a lot of damage. Same for Edge, wow. I guess I don't need to do anything, so let's just cast Fast on Cecil. But the Berserk status means that I can't control Cecil. I can't use him if I want to maybe cast a heal or something, but generally speaking, I don't think that trade-off is that bad. I just don't really like it. But he does lay down some damage. And I don't think I finished my thought about Titan against these ghosts. Like, they seem like they're floating, but for some reason an earthquake just wrecks them. And yeah, that's definitely overkill, but it'll be fine. Alright, an elixir and a free cure 1, why not? And what's the grand finale? What's the final chest gonna be? That's right, it's 2 stupid centipedes. This makes absolutely no sense, and I love it. Dead. Maybe they just felt like giving you a break after sitting through 6 trap chests. But that's the end of this section of the dungeon, and if we step on this tile, we'll end up back outside. Now I'm going to go ahead and use a cavern real quick, and that's going to recover our MP, because we've got to dive this dungeon again, because we never got to check out that little house at the end. So back in we go. And yeah, we're pretty... Rose is just missing 8 MP. We're doing great. So this time we're going to take the south path. And head right through here. And generously, there is a save point here. But we're not really going to need that. But let's go check out this area anyway. Alright, on that fight, Edge leveled up and learned Smoke, which is a spell that helps you run away from battle, but I don't ever really use it because you can just run away, you know, normally. Alright, let's keep going. Pick up that treasure box we couldn't get to earlier, and there's our elven bow, but I do believe it's worse than our samurai bow. Yeah, it definitely is. But let's check it out anyway. Too bad. And why don't we put the defense back on? I think I've had my fun with this. And we'll put on my fire shield. Get back to a normal equipment setup. The Avenger is sweet, though. Now we're going to want to go left. Let's get healed up. That looks good. But you can just tell, like, look at this set of stairs. Like, this place is very confusing. But don't worry, I do mostly know where I'm going in here. Let's get float back up, as usual. And now we want to take this first set of stairs. And this is going to get us to a sweet, sweet treasure room. You know, I really should go through my spells and organize them, maybe get float higher up. But I'm not really going to need float ever again after this, pretty much. Bunch of arrows, but that being said, a little spell organization never hurt anyone. Let's at least get our elements together. That seems fine. And then let's go ahead and get our cures more lined up. That would just make me feel a little bit better. Let's get heal over there, and I think that's good. Maybe wall should be higher up. I will actually cast that from time to time, and maybe fast as well. The rest of these I'm, like, never gonna cast. Okay. Now I feel better. I brought it up, so then I just had to do it. Okay, floats back up. Let's continue. We got surprised by 3 mobiles, which is the worst. All right. Now, before we head down these stairs, we want to take this secret passage. And what do we get? It's a silly, silly toad lady. Now I'm going to try and get a Titan down, because that'll just end this. If that doesn't work out, this is just going to take forever. Now this is going to be 6 toad casts, so we may get lucky and end up... There's 2 on Rydia, so she's good for now. Okay, Cecil's good. Not Rydia, not Rydia. Okay, wow. Ha! Do not tell me the Toad Lady is going to get another turn. The sad, crazy Toad Lady. Yes! Alright. This is about as absolutely fast as this fight could go. Oh, that feels good. And what do we get? The Mute Knife, aka the Mage Masher. I feel like maybe Mage Masher would have been a better name to keep for it, because I don't feel like the mute status ailment that it can inflict is the important information. Like, the important information is +5 intelligence and extra damage versus mages, which you would never know by the name of it if you just name it Mute Knife. But, you know. Elixir there. And as you can tell by this kind of winding passageway, we're getting close to the end here. And here it is, that mysterious house from before. Doesn't this just feel like something right out of Undertale a little bit? Oh, it's so cool. Let's check out inside. And look at this, it's a bunch of fairies, or Sylph. Wow, humans, they say. What are you doing here? Get out! Yeah, I mean, we're kind of just busting into their house, but that's kind of just what you do in JRPGs, is just break into people's homes and steal their treasures. But look at this, it's Yang! Yang's alive! He survived that cannon explosion. I won't let you take him. He had collapsed in front of this cave and has been unconscious since. Aren't we doing enough? I don't know. But he has nothing to say right now. He won't wake up. And there's nothing we can do for him right now. However, we can't steal this stuff, which is going to be Yang's cat claw and his poison claw, which he was wearing when he left the party. And upstairs is nothing more but a teleporter out of here, so let's get out of here. But it is very, very exciting news that not only did we find a fairy house, but Yang is there and he's alive, but unconscious. Which is not good. Like, not 100% good news, but it is good news in many ways. Now let's get Cecil back out in front, because we need to get back to the matter at hand now that we're done running errands in the underground. And I think we should... Let's just use a temp. We don't have that much MP to recover. And it's time now to go to the sealed cave to do what we were doing in the first place, which is unlocking this place and going after that dark crystal. So hold the key to unbind the seal, then the way to the dark crystals will be open. And let's go ahead and use our Luca key. And oh, is that ever ominous, but let's go. Now, the sealed cave is kind of a cool place. It's got a new mechanic, which is going to be these sort of rope ladders. And we can use them to kind of rappel down. And there is one more new mechanic we're going to talk about in just a second. And that's a longsword for Edge, but because we did the optional dungeons first, those are going to be obsolete. And we're going to be glad that we did all that leveling up doing those optional dungeons because of all these trapdoors. They are definitely challenging, and mostly just a resource drain. Let's check out this door here. Trapdoor. Please do not disrupt Rosa. Okay, that one's fine, because he will actually get a turn. And then we can immediately cast Life 1 to make sure that he's up for the XP that we get at the end of the fight. This should change into a Chimera right about now. Although, I can just get a Tier 2 down on Edge right now, right? A Manticore, I should say. $7,000 XP for that one. I love it. And some fire arrows? Why not? Why don't we get our items sorted? I feel like we've got a bunch of piles of things now. We are getting pretty full up. I may have to sell some stuff soon, but we'll see. Alright, Screamers are new, and they are no threat at all. They will go down in one round of combat. Maybe not even our all of our turns. Just a palette swap of stuff we've seen before. Alright, maybe I oh no, we're good. I was gonna say maybe I overestimated our combat prowess, but I did not. Tier 2, and let's take on this trapdoor. I feel like this episode we're spending a lot of time in the combat scene, and I'm kind of fine with that. Oh, that sucks. That is so bad. We are getting really unlucky with that. They have a 1 in 5 chance of doing that, and they just keep doing it anyways. Now, I should point out that you can actually kill the trapdoor if you output enough damage before it changes into the monster, but you do get a little bit less XP, so I'm actually fine with this happening. That did not drop him. This should, though. Okay. Alright, well, I mean, we're one bad roll away from being in trouble. And I don't know what to say about that other than I guess I should have bought some life potions, but I thought I'd be alright. But we're gonna keep going, we're gonna risk it. And now very many of these are gonna do this where it's just nothing behind it. But we're gonna take on every single trapdoor in here. Just an ether. I was hoping it would be a life potion, but it is not. So another trapdoor, here we go. Okay, perfect. One thing that I want to be careful about is, if he targets Kain, and Kain jumps, then he will do the disrupt on a random party member, which could end up being Rosa. So I really don't want to give him the opportunity to hit Rosa with another one. I need that to, like, not happen for the rest of the dungeon, and believe me, we have a lot more of these to go. I did get the Titan down, though, so he might be dead here. Yeah, alright. But yeah, no matter how many level ups we get, we're never going to be safe from disrupts. But all these level ups are good nonetheless. And once again, absolutely nothing. Okay, let's keep going. All right. We're good. Let's check out over to the right. And we want to go down first. But I definitely am pleased to get that life potion. I don't think we've seen huge Nagas in here. Maybe we've seen them before. But this will be quick. You know, I'm kind of low on lightning arrows, so why don't we just grab, like, fire? We've got 29 of those. And one thing I do want to show is if you take one of these that don't have a bottom, Cecil does a quick 360, like, are you trying to get us all killed? And another life, perfect. That means I have reasonably good odds of surviving this next gauntlet of trapdoors. I hope. Let's get to it. Okay, on Cecil is totally fine. Let's get life 1 going on him. I really like the, okay, so I hate Disrupt. It's really annoying and it just sucks. But I really like the design of it. I feel like the, sound effect that plays for it is really good. And the way that it sort of centers on the character's forehead just kind of feels like a headache almost. So for me, for an instant death spell, I really like the design of it. It's very memorable, if you ask me. Alright, only, I don't know, 150 more trapdoors to go. And I'm just showing you the dead ends. I know where they are, but how can you unlock a door that's trapped and not check out what's inside? There's no way to not do that. That sucks. Why? Stop doing that. And we're not even going to spend a life potion in battle because it's possible that when the Manticore comes up, it could cast Blaze right away and drop her again, and then I would end up spending 2 life potions, which would be very bad. I've only got 2 to my name. Now we're down to 1. Oh man, that is scary. Right, 84 MP and 40 MP. I think we can just keep going. And there is the Light Blade. It's going to be Holy Elemental and +3 Strength and Spirit. And unfortunately, it's just straight up worse than the defense. I mean, the defense is just loads better. Once again, some of the things we're going to find in here are going to be obsolete. Do not target Rosa. I'm serious, dude. Okay. I don't like that, but it's going to be fine. That is going to mean that our damage output is going to be significantly disrupted. So this could get weird. So if Rydia gets a turn, I think I'm just gonna have her use a Cure 2 on herself so she doesn't die again, because I really want her to get this XP. I don't even know what to do with Rosa. I guess I'll just attack. Alright, that worked out. And I'm enjoying that Edge is finally caught up to the party for the most part. That is nice. And this one's actually a treasure room, which is nice. Ninja Star and an Elixir. Those Ninja Stars are very powerful, let me tell you. And 5,000 gil. We haven't needed gil for almost anything yet, except for a few equipment buys. But they have been few and far between. Alright, no Rosa, no Rosa, no Rosa. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, dear. Oh, no. If he hits Rosa, I'm gonna be so embarrassed. Yep. Oh no, that is so bad. That is 4 disrupts on Rosa this dungeon, which is an absolutely crippling number. And I did exactly the thing I warned anyone listening not to do. Now there's the Blaze attack. We haven't gotten to see him do that, but he can get you with that if you've just only casted a life 1. Alright, oh my god. This is legitimately nerve-wracking now. Okay, I need to probably give Rydia a couple of ethers because we're gonna need to be able to cast summons for the rest of these trapdoors, and I guess I may as well give a couple of ethers to Rosa. Just make sure she's good to go. Dead end, okay. Oh god. There's still 2 more. Here we go. Fingers crossed. 1 and 5. Oh, thank you. Oh. I'm literally on the edge of my seat for these now. Ooh, a crit is nice. That might just drop him. Yes, okay. And there's Ice 3, that's nice. Oh man, I'm so stressed out. I did it to myself, I have no one else to blame, but let's go ahead and get Ice 3 in its proper location. And here's a save point, and I might want to use this, honestly. Just because if Rosa gets hit, we really can't continue. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And this rope down doesn't go anywhere, but it is kind of funny. So I did want to show it real quick, and let's tackle this last trapdoor. Alright, if you do Rosa... Okay. I was gonna say, I really don't want to reload the save point, but I also don't want to, like, completely start the dungeon over and, like, have to warp out of here and go ashamedly buy some life potions. We're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Oh, that might drop Rydia. Oh, that's lucky. That's crazy lucky. I suppose I'm, like, due for a little bit of luck, considering how unlucky I've been so far. The trapdoors hit on a... Ooh, Cure 4. That's a sweet one. Not nearly as sweet as the original Final Fantasy, but still quite good. It is a full heal, but it doesn't do the cool stuff that it did in the original, where it cured all status ailments and things like that. And another treasure room. Nice! There's another longsword, but that is obsolete, but the ninja helmet is not. That is going to be slightly better than our bandana. One more defense, and it even resists sleep. I'll take it. And now, we are almost to the end of this thing. We do still have a couple more trapdoors to contend with, but I'm feeling lucky. Let's make sure we're ready to go for this. I mean, Rose's life total doesn't really matter, but why not? All right, let's do it. Trapdoor. Okay, that's fine, but we're gonna not jump. I'm not making that mistake again. I really can't believe I did that, but it's kind of awesome. The other thing is that you need to output enough damage to either kill him or get him to transform into the monster, or he'll do it again. The trapdoor will cast Disrupt on you for as long as you let him. So it's really just a test of your ability to output damage, and just a giant resource drain. Ether. Not a life potion, and that's really all I care about. There's one. Oh, we're good. I really like our chances now. That's fine. fact, we might be able to just straight up kill the trapdoor. If he does edge, then that doesn't actually interrupt any of our damage output through Rydia. So this one will probably go pretty smoothly, if I had to guess. There we go. So let's get Edge healed up. And check out this room. It's a dead end. So where do we go? And that would be down here. There's a secret little door down here. These dungeons are getting slightly tougher. Now we have a couple more trapdoors to contend with before we finally get to the end. But there's another life potion. Now we're talking. Alright, now I've come down from 11 stress level. So that feels good. I'm honestly a little bit surprised at how tense this dungeon was. I was worried that it would be a little bit boring because I do want to show all the trapdoors. Just to sort of demonstrate, I don't know, I guess I would compare it a little bit to the Marsh Cave in that all of this is just designed to be stressful on your resources, so it can definitely do a thing where you get very, very unlucky and you end up actually having to turn back unless you kind of over-prepare. But I've decided to risk it. And I think that's been pretty fun so far. Don't kill Cecil. Thank you. Alright, go away, Manpor. Nobody likes you. Ooh, Edge learned Image. That's kind of a sweet one. Maybe I'll try it out in combat. I often don't really cast buffs in this game because frequently I either need to heal or I just have better things to be doing with my turn than casting buffs. But Image is a cool one where it makes a multiple image of Edge and then he can't be hit 2 times, maybe 3 times. You get a sweet 3D effect there. And that's the way out, so actually let's go this way. Contend with this trapdoor. That's fine. This should be a nice one-turn one. I'm always happy when I can do this in 1 round of combat-ish. Cast Life on Edge, and then this should go pretty smooth. Yep, we've seen this trick before. And I'm fairly happy with Cecil being up over 2,000 HP. More fire arrows, I like it. And another treasure room, okay. I really like the fact that they give you enough treasure rooms to make you want to try every single door, but enough of the doors are empty to be, I don't know, dastardly, I guess the word is I want to use for the design of this dungeon. And I know there's nothing up here, but I'm just going to show you anyway, and now let's take the left. And by the way out, of course, I meant the way forward. Alright, here's a save point, but we're not going to need it. We do want to use a cabin, though, just to recover some MP. And now let's finish this thing. Now, these are not the way down. They're just these, things to scare the crap out of Cecil. We just gotta go all the way around. And the Dark Crystal is within our grasp. It's right over this bridge. Just one more trapdoor between us and the crystal. Let's get it. Perfect. A nice, lucky, and quick one to end our time dealing with these things. I gotta tell you, King Giott could have warned us about these. Like, it feels worth mentioning. I definitely understand, you know, wanting to put a lot of traps and a lot of, you know, defensive measures. Oh god, it's a yellow dragon. Okay. I hope Titan kills this thing. But, you know, put a lot of traps and defensive measures. Okay, that's totally fine. Between, you know, would-be interlopers and your Dark Crystal. But this just feels like something the king should have known about. Alright, let's get our crystal. And I just love these crystal rooms that feature the Final Fantasy arpeggio. Oh, I don't have enough room. What is happening right now? Ah, okay, weird. I've never had that happen. So I've got to exchange it for something? My hoarding has finally come back to bite me. You know what? You can have some carrots. We'll do an Indiana Jones and we'll put carrots on it and hope that no traps spring. There's our Dark Crystal. And this is now the third crystal we've managed to get our hands on. The first one we stole from the Mysidians. The second one was the Earth Crystal, which we gave away. So hopefully this time, with our third crystal, the third time's the charm, and we can actually hang on to this one. And with the crystal in hand, can't we just warp out of here? Nope. We're hoofing it, so let's go. What the? Cecil says it's the wall. Rydia says it's moving. Kain says they set the trap to guard the crystal. Edge says, let's destroy the trap then. And so you may have been wondering, why put all these trapdoors that give you so much XP? And the answer is to make sure that your average player, who maybe hasn't done all the optional stuff first, can actually win this fight. Because this fight, if you're a little bit underleveled, is very serious. But fortunately for us, we have Leviathan and a bunch of level ups in our pocket. So we should be able to deal with this fairly easily. And Rosa doesn't really have anything great to do, so I'm just going to cast Fast on people. Because we do need to beat this thing before it gets too close. And I just want to point out, I love the design of the Evil Wall. That thing looks terrifying. And if it gets too close, it will use its crush attack, which is, you guessed it, more instant death stuff. $3,400 damage. Go Rydia. I'm going to go ahead and throw a cure on her. I do not want her to die. That would definitely, quote-unquote, disrupt our damage output. Yeah, that could have been dangerous. But he's not going to be able to take too many more hits from Leviathan. But I really like the way, you know, This culminates in the battle with the evil wall, but all the trapdoors are testing your damage output, and then you have your final exam, the evil wall. It all hangs together really nicely. I think the whole thing is very well thought out and just, I don't know, it all works so well. I love it. And the music definitely ups the tension as well. And the reason I'm casting fast this fight is because you're, trying to kill it before it gets too close. So the more turns you get, the better at that you're gonna be. There he goes. Whew, we did it. 8,000 gil and 4,600 XP. Nice. We did it, Rydia says, and Edge says a petty trap. And you might be wondering, can we warp out of here now? And the answer is still no. We gotta walk out. But I think you'll be surprised how short this dungeon actually is now that all the trapdoors are removed. Walking out of here is gonna be like 1 to 2 minutes at the most. But since we're just walking out, there is one little development tidbit that I haven't managed to fit in yet that I think is really cool. And I mentioned that this game is sort of the culmination of all of the good ideas from the first 3 games. And that's true. And it all works very, very well. Let's go ahead and use a tent. But what I wanted to point out is that while this is a Sakaguchi game, Sakaguchi contributed like the total story, down to minute details like the name of Baron's Air Force, the Red Wings. But Hiromichi Tanaka, who was the lead designer of Final Fantasy III, was initially involved in this game, but he wanted to do something a little bit different. Did I go the wrong way? I did. Oops, but I'm telling stories here. Give me a break. So the lead designer of Final Fantasy III was on this game, but he didn't want to make a game anymore in the style of games like this, where the combat screen is separate from the overworld screen. He wanted to make more of an action RPG. And so he left the team and went on to develop a game that maybe you've heard of, called Seiken Densetsu 2, or as we know it, Secret of Mana, which is really, really cool. And now let me be clear. Secret of Mana is a great game that a lot of people love. I am kind of alone on this, but I have a lot of complaints about that game. I wish that Tanaka would have taken a few more lessons from Crystalis with regard to how to design a game like that, but either way, one other little fun fact about Secret of Mana, Seiken Densetsu 2, was that it was codenamed Chrono Trigger during its development. And that's really all I've got for developer stories for this, but I think that one is pretty fun, and it's just so cool how all these great games that everyone remembers from this SNES era, just how closely tied together they are. Now we've got our crystal, let's get out of here. What? Kain, return to me, Kain. Come back to me with the crystal. Cecil cries, Golbez! Kain! Rosa says, get a hold of yourself. Kain says, I'm all right. I'm no longer under his control. But he's a liar. Ugh! And we lost the Dark Crystal. And Edge says, you wretch. And Rosa says, Kain, what are you doing? And Golbez says, I've been waiting for this moment. Now the Tower of Babel can be reactivated. The way to the moon will open. Come, Kain. Cecil says, come on, Kain, wake up. Kain says, all the crystals are gathered now. The way to the moon will open. And Edge cries out, wait! Golbez says, ha ha ha! Cecil says, Kain, And Edge says, oh my. And that's right. Kain stole our crystal and took it back to Golbez, the big old jerk he is. But Kain said something very interesting there, which is the way to the moon will open. Now, we're not quite sure what that means, but one thing we know about the moon is that there are two of them, and one of them wasn't always there. So there's a lot of interesting things going on with that, but we're going to have to learn a little bit more about that next time, because I'm all out of time for today. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Final Fantasy Friday.